Hello, welcome into the Sunday Soother. I'm Lucy, and this is Soul Compass, the channel that I share with my lovely friend and colleague Rachel. So today, themes. It's the new year, and obviously that kind of prompts us to, I guess, reflect a little bit and be thinking about, here you go, what's next? And in some ways, we kind of get put through this whole Christmas and festivities and busyness, and then we just get spat out the other end and come on then, what are you going to do this year? How's that going to go for you? And I just wanted to explore a couple of things that I think are really prevalent and that are happening very much so amongst people that I know, clients that I'm working with, definitely for me, for my family. So the first thing is the great void. Now, this is something that it's a time, it's a space whereby either you're between things and you're really aware that either you're going from one thing and waiting for the other to come in, and maybe it hasn't quite shown itself yet. You're waiting for a new job or a new house, or waiting for something to shift and change with your motivation or your health in some way, or you're just completely flat and there's just a kind of nothingness. There's just no inspiration, there's no spark, but you have this sense of feeling a bit unsettled in it all. Or you're going through some major meltdown, breakdown, something really big is going on for you. And it's as though everything is falling away, and whatever is coming in to rescue you or rebuild you, it's maybe not solid in terms of how it's shown up for you yet. Now, this void, I don't want to belittle or underplay or understate how hard it is to be there and how much it impacts us and affects us. It's just, I guess I want to give a little bit of airtime to the idea that this void, we have been cultured and nurtured into fearing it massively, whereby it's seen as something that we're hoping to avoid, something that is a problem, and it's not a safe place to be. But what if it was? Maybe actually in order for us to enrich our experience, to embody some of the things we've learned, to open the door, to make space for something new to come in, we kind of have to pass through this space of nothingness. And if it's a nothingness whereby it's a meh and it's a flat, imagine if we didn't have to do anything about that it wasn't about pushing and making ourselves feel safe by controlling the situation. What if we could lean into it in some way, because actually we could trust that everything always moves, there's always momentum, there's always going to be things that come in that we've invited, as well as things that we've invited without realizing, and things that maybe we get surprised with along the way, whether that's things that are delightful or things that can actually feel like they've pulled the rug out from under us. It's just, there is something about, it's like a germination space. It's a place where the roots are expanding and we are growing, and little nuggets, pieces of ourselves that we wouldn't otherwise discover become available to us, because when we're lost, we go searching. When we're lost, we want to find ourselves. We want to dig into that courage and that faith. And that kind of brings me into the other theme, which is I'm really interested in this concept that we're kind of told in humanity that the best idea in life is you've got to find yourself a track and stay on it. And it's very possible that you get on this track and everything goes well, everything unfolds for you, and you're fine. And in fact, you're happy, and you get happy and you stay happy. And this is deemed to be the successful route for a lot of us. And actually, in a way, it's like you've just got to be careful to dodge the bullets. You've got to be so careful to just hopefully gamble in the right way that you don't end up making a mistake or something awful happening to you. And it's as though we watch each other, and when somebody is in that, it's viewed as this is a bad time for you, which of course it is. It's really hard to be in, but it's a wrong thing. It's something that we need to get you through and out of. It's something that we need to avoid if we possibly can. It's not seen as normal, is what I'm trying to say. We're not cultured, we're not taught that, you know what, life ahead of you is going to be this series of wins and these times when you're in absolute joyful bliss and delight and appreciation and excitement, times when you're inspired and productive, times when it all goes horribly wrong. There'll be times when you feel like you've messed up. There'll be times when you feel lost, and there'll be times when your heart is broken. And what if we were taught that those places were safe, that actually, just like the void, and the two cross over very much, that this is a time where you just happen to be in that place. And when we're in that place, this is how we can take care of ourselves, and this is how we can tend to each other without feeling like, oh no, poor you, you kind of tripped up and you've ended up in that place. So glad that's not me, feeling so bad for you, and let's just try to get this over with, rather than what is going on for you in that place. What are you going to lean into? How are you going to grow your courage and your sense of self? How do we recognize that we have these qualities, that there's a part of us that will come up as a survival mechanism, as a self-repair prompt? There are parts of us that will give us inspired ideas that wouldn't come unless we were put under that pressure. There are ways for us to grow in us realizing how capable we are, how strong we are, how much we have available to us in terms of the resources, both inside us and around us, within each other. I love the idea that maybe we could teach each other, we could teach younger people, actually, you've not gone off track. This is okay. And you're just in that patch for now. Oh, okay, yeah, got you. Okay, well, these are things that we could say to each other. These are things that we could do for each other. This is how we can take care of each other. And I know that we do. I know we take care of each other when things are hard. It's just there's this underlying sense of you've almost had the bad luck. Or, that's not in the schedule, that's not in the script, that's gone off. I love the idea of maybe not. Maybe this is taking you through a gateway, which means you will expand into something new that you wouldn't have done otherwise. And that's not to say that it's okay when really horrible things happen. And it's not to say that you won't be in suffering in some way. I've just come to realize that the more I lean into not resisting those feelings when they're there, and instead letting them be there, working with them, tending to them, self-soothing, and trusting that this will be taking me somewhere. Things will be okay. And I don't know what I'm going to learn from this little experience, but I will get something from it, and I will rebuild, and I will be okay. And the more I have that, the more, when I'm in those tricky spots or the devastating spots, something is very anchored that says you don't have to suffer quite as much with the fear and the panic, because you know that you have the resources to ride this out. You know that this is going to point you in a direction that you're going to do something with, and you know that you're safe. So with these things said, I have created just a little gentle meditation for us to just come into that quiet and, I guess, tap into that inner resource and remember that we have that strength and that connection and that capability. So you can stick this on and go for a walk or do jobs around the house, or you can sit in the quiet and close your eyes, and either way, just let the words wash over you. I just think there's an awful lot that we could gain this year by learning how to manage the things that we fear, and finding that we can invite them in and work with them rather than spend our life trying to keep them from the door. So this comes with so much love, and we will see you next time. If you enjoy this, if you get to the end and you've got something out of it, it would really help us if you could like the video, if you could subscribe. It's completely free, and it just means that it will let you know when more content is out. So happy Sunday, everybody. Lots of love. So close your eyes, or just tune into yourself a minute. Feel where you are in the space around you. Notice the way that it feels to be in gravity right now, and where you happen to notice that in your body. And let's let's imagine for a moment that wherever we happen to land, in whichever moment, whichever context, whichever day, we are safe. So take a breath. Let your breathing follow its own pattern, its own flow. This is about connecting to your inner resources, ones that have maybe shown themselves to you umpteen times in different ways. And maybe sometimes we shield against them because we're so deeply in our fear, in the panic of being in the symptoms of those feelings, that we can't hear ourselves think. We can't derive the messages that our inner wisdom is trying to give us to say either it's okay, we're going to do this just one step at a time, or if there's a nothingness, maybe it's okay for you to just be in that and not feel like it's your job to push yourself to be somewhere else. That so often in the softening and the relaxing in, that's when the answers come. That's when the direction shows itself. That's where we get the first breadcrumb. And imagine if we felt safe with just that knowledge that the breadcrumb is coming, or with just one at a time. If we were told, if we were taught, everything is always on its way to you, that everything always has a path of movement and momentum, nothing ever stays the same. That we were taught it's okay to be here, and that you can feel two things at once. You can feel grateful for some of the things that you have in your life at the same time as you feel flat and uninspired or depressed or anxious. Just as you can feel a little grain of trust and optimism at a time where you're also feeling worry and fear, that these two things can actually exist together. We don't have to push one away to make space for the other. That it's okay for them to all be in the same room, in the same place. That we can focus our attention on coming into that trust, coming into that faith. Giving us some grace for the fact that as human beings, of course, we're going to feel the worry, or being unsettled, or being upset, or being in fear. All of those things are very normal emotions for us to experience. All of these things invite us into a particular place that widens our ability to self-connect, enriches our resilience, our capability, enables us to find pieces of ourselves that maybe we didn't even know that we had, that we can activate and invoke. Things inside of us that are wise, that bring guidance, that bring direction, that bring soothing and ease. Because when we listen in quietly, when we're not so scared to just stop and be with it, this little light inside, something within this survival mechanism that isn't just about the biology, it's about the emotional as well, will let you know, either I need you to unpick this belief that you have about this situation. I need you to challenge that story. That truth might not be a truth. Or I want you to let yourself cry. Or I think you should seek out some support from this person that you love and trust. Or maybe you're agitated because you need to move. Your body will speak to you. And imagine if we were shown that it's okay. It's completely safe for us to be in that space as long as it needs to be there. That when we lean into it, we're just going through a process and it isn't forever and it isn't wrong and we haven't gone off track. That this is where those little nuggets of wisdom can really start to gather their glow, can really anchor their roots. And that every time we're going through these patches, rather than try to push past them, we can start to work with them and know that maybe particular things hold us at that time, and we don't need to suffer quite as much as we think. That it's okay if we need more isolation or more quiet or more rest. That it's okay if we need to access support in some way. Because this existence is a journey of discovery. And we can wrap our arms around ourselves. And we can share our connection with our loved ones. We can find support and answers all over the place, from outside and inside. Just breathe into the flow of potentially letting yourself know it's okay, actually. It's okay for me to drift into these different feeling places. And it's okay if life brings something that makes me stop and work with it. Makes me stop and be really present and understand how I'm feeling about it, what energy I'm giving the situation, what thoughts, stories, beliefs are going around my head about this particular situation, whether it's small or whether it's big. And maybe it's a prompt to not even do any of that. That sometimes there isn't a call to action. That it's just about letting ourselves breathe. Coming back to basics. Trusting that something inside you is working on the repair without you having to engineer it or direct it. That it's about unison and harmony, letting your body and mind work together. And sometimes one will take the lead, and sometimes the other. Or maybe they'll dance together in a particular way, giving you signals, giving you ideas, giving you insight, giving you prompts. What if we could be strong enough and brave enough to follow the prompts? And to know that even when it feels like it's all gone wrong, it's absolutely right. That we're not here to suffer pointlessly, endlessly, needlessly. We're here to experience all of the things, all of the sensory experiences, all of the emotional places, the connections. And that includes sometimes being in the dark, just as we do when we sleep. But the dark doesn't have to be something we run away from, something we fear. Sometimes it's a little cocoon that actually just wants to hold us in that stillness and that quiet. Because it almost insists that we clear everything else away for a minute, that we concentrate just on what's there and what that leads to within us. So we're going to just take a series of breaths in your own way, in your own rhythm. Every breath that you're bringing in, we're going to invite a generation of a feeling. Reminding ourselves that we can count on ourselves, that we have this inner healing mechanism that will work emotionally, psychologically, and biologically. Breathing in to feel that sense of trust in this mechanism, because you are a human being and you come equipped with all of this. And we're all trying to work the kit. but it's there. So breathing in your courage, your self-trust, breathing in a love that you have for your life, for you, for aspects of things that are working for you right now. And expanding that love into those places where it's more still or more quiet, more dark. That we can love ourselves there as well. Then we can invite the insight, the soothing, breathing in your own self-comfort. You are a miracle, just in the way that you work, in the software in your brain that's available to you, in the potential that we have to learn continually, to shift, to change, to grow into things and grow out of things. Imagine a world where we made all of that totally safe, because it is. You are safe. You are home. So sit and be with that for a moment. Feel yourself in your own body. Just take as much time as you need. And when you're ready, you can start to invite yourself back to amalgamate and integrate your day or your evening or wherever you happen to be, just with this sense of collaboration and coherence, self-attunement, that you have a team inside you, all working together for your highest possible good. You've never gone off track, and you are always safe. So sending you so much love.